Hello dear students, I am Prabhat Dubey, your BST teacher from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. Dear students, we were studying the scientific techniques of Taylor. In the previous lecture, we studied that how this technique of Taylor is universally accepted. What is the crux of this scientific management? How the techniques are devised and how they helped the manufacturers then service providers increase their efficiency and effectiveness, increase their profitability and maintaining a standard product. Okay, so today we will focus on standardization and simplification of work. Okay, so any process, any activity that is being done in an organization or manufacturing unit, you have to first scrutinize what are the different steps and how the product is being manufactured and how the service is being provided. Then you will try to find out what are the loopholes, what are the factors that are leading to inefficient performance. Then you will get to know that how to make our supply chain more efficient, how to minimize the cost and maintaining standard product throughout our supply chain. So in the same manner, you will simplify the process. You have to eradicate out the unproductive activities, unproductive movements, and you have to ensure the sustainable use of resources. This will always ensure better profitability of the company. But doing all these things, one thing is to be kept in mind, that standard of the product is not to be compromised at any cost. Because if you are compromising with the quality of the product, then in the long run, maybe in the short run you will get good profit, but in the long run the impact will be always detrimental. Okay, that's why there is a separate department. After manufacturing of the product, there is a process of quality check, quality control, and experts are appointed to ensure that each product that is leaving the manufacturing unit is of good and acceptable quality, that is fulfilling the parameters that are set by the founder or management team. Okay, so you understood what is standardization. Standardization is just you are setting a standard, what quality should be imbibed in your product, who are your customers, how will you maintain a good relationship with your customers, with your retailers, wholesalers, agencies that are involved in promotion, marketing, supply chain. So that's why the mission and vision of the company and the objectives are very clear cut, and each and every person who is working in any organization should stick to the basics, the policies, the rules and regulations that are being provided by the founder or core committee. So all these things will help in ensuring scientific implications, how you use science for the benefit of your management team, how science can provide you an extra edge over others. This is the real application of scientific techniques of Taylor. Taylor suggested that for each and every step that is being taken up in the company, each and every process, any machinery that is being bought in the company and it is involved in the manufacturing process, any person who is being appointed, they should be backed by scientific analysis and scientific study. Suppose you are going to manufacture any specific product, okay, then first you have to find out what are the available techniques, what are the available processes, methods that can be inculcated for the production process. Suppose if there are 3 or 4 type of manufacturing processes, then you will try to find out which one is the most efficient and most effective, keeping in mind your own stability, your own condition of the company, okay, the net worth of the company, and what are the resources that are available to you in your local market. If you are buying resources from some distant places, then it will also increase your cost. So before manufacturing, different types of factors are there that are to be kept in mind. Okay, in your previous lectures, I have brought it into the picture that how MNC decides what are the factors that are to be kept in mind before any reputed company invest or start any manufacturing unit in some other place or any other nation. There is a proper study of the project viability analysis is done, and if the results are positive, then only the company invest in a particular market or in a particular nation. So you can understand, if you set the standard that our product should match this type of quality, then there should be no compromise. Each and every effort, each and every step that is being taken in the company should ensure that your product is going to match the set standard. In the first chapter, I think we studied about coordination and cooperation, how different departments, different manufacturing units of a company coordinate their effort and ensure that the objective that is being set by the company is achieved within the set time limit. So this scientific technique ensures timely delivery with proper efficiency and good quality product. Now we will study about work. Different types of studies that are done, that are applied to ensure the scientific management. So there is a definition of work study. Work study ensures maximum production with minimum cost with standard product. In one line, you can define work study. The basic purpose of work study is just to eradicate out the unproductive, unnecessary activities, unnecessary movements. The inefficiency of the workforce is to be found out, and we should always promote positive and effective activities. All the activities that are unproductive should be eliminated, otherwise the profitability of the company would be compromised. So first is fatigue study. This is the most important one, okay, because it is directly related to the workforce, human resource. Even if you are providing best quality raw material, best sophisticated advanced machinery to the production unit, but if the person who are handling all these gadgets, all these machines, equipments, they are not intelligent enough, satisfied enough, and happy enough to work with dedication and devotion, then the end result will always be hampered. You are not going to achieve the set standard, because human resource is the most important resource of any institution, any manufacturing unit, any company, any organization. Okay. So fatigue study ensures to make your workforce motivated. You know that if there is a shift of 8 hours, you cannot expect the worker to work with the same type of efficiency throughout this long period of 8 hours. So the scientific study suggests that you should provide a proper break periods, intervals for the rest and rejuvenation of the workers. If the work is very labor intensive, then you should provide them timely breaks. Suppose a worker is working in any manufacturing unit, he is dealing with sophisticated technology. Okay, then after 2 hours, at least after 2 hours, you should provide him a break of 10 to 15 minutes just to rejuvenate. He's going to have some snacks, some cold drinks, water, coffee, anything that rejuvenates him. So after 15 minutes, the efficiency level of that laborer, that worker, or that officer will increase. So these breaks will ensure better efficiency, and it is different. The fatigue study suggests that it depends on the physical endurance, the training and research that is done for the ensuring maximum production with proper efficiency. It is not universal for each and every person. Some person might need a rest of 10 minutes even after 1 hour of time. Some would need after 2 hours a rest. Some would be doing the same work with same efficiency for almost 4 years of a duration. They don't need any break. So it depends on the personal capability of the workers. But on an average, on a general perspective, you have to find out how much time interval, how many times this rest period should be inculcated during the 8 hours of working in one shift. Okay, so you will find that if this fatigue study is done properly, then you will find out proper mechanism to provide rest to your workers, and it will almost increase the efficiency level. If you are making them work through 8 hours of period with a single break of lunch, then you will find out that after working for 1 or 2 hours with dedication, in the last 2 hours of before the break, their efficiency is going down. So if the 2 hours of inefficient work will lead to the unsustainable use of resources, you will not ensure that the resource of the company is being properly utilized. The work that is being done by the worker who is working without a break since last 4 hours, you cannot expect him to work with full devotion and full dedication. It is scientific study. Even if you want to perform with proper dedication and devotion, your physical performance will not match to your mindset. Even if you are dedicated, but your body will not allow you to focus on the work for a period of 8 hours. Okay, it is not in your hand. Your muscles will not help you for the proper dedicated 8 hours of service. So this scientific study helped a lot in maintaining efficiency. If you are providing 1 hour of rest to the worker during the 8 hours of shift, it will always maximize the profitability of the company. But the person who are not having proper education, they don't have any idea of Henry Fayol and Taylor's contribution, what is scientific management, they don't know. They are just having money, they are applying their money and they are just recruiting people. So they will never make them happy and their performance will never going to match the standard. Even if in the short run they will earn good profit, but in the long run they will always suffer. So the person who is leading the committee, who is managing the affairs, top level, middle level and lower level managers should be provided with good quality of management education. With technical skills, they have to be provided with proper managerial skills. That's why it is demand of the time that management should be a profession. The person who are being appointed as a manager should have sound knowledge of management. They should possess some proper management education. Okay, the person who are being appointed as manager without any sound management knowledge, they will never be able to do justice with their responsibility, their authority. So you understood the importance of fatigue study. Second one is method study. Method study in itself suggests that you have to find out the proper method of doing any process, any activity, any manufacturing. So if there are different types of machineries, different types of production processes, as I told you earlier, you will work out the best possible method, best possible process that will ensure low cost with standard product. Okay. Third one is time study. Time is very crucial factor. Okay. So you have to always stick to the given time duration to ensure better efficiency. Even if you are doing good, but you are crossing the time limit. If the company is getting order to make 50,000 of products within 3 month of period, but you are crossing the device time limit, then you will always suffer in the long run. Okay. So time is to be kept in mind. for all the projects, all the work that are being provided to the workers through the manufacturing companies, there is always a time limit. Suppose the infrastructure projects, the four lane road manufacturing, the dam construction, different types of buildings that are being made in your municipal corporation or any other authority. There is a time limit that this project should be completed within 2 year, 3 year of time. But if you are crossing the limit, as we are witnessing in our road construction projects, the authority that is making that road, that dam, they are claiming that this project will be completed within 2 years of time. But in reality, they are taking 3 to 4 years in completion of that project. So you can clearly say that the workforce that is doing that project are not efficient, or the manager are not able to decide a proper time limit for that. So either the top layer of management is not efficient enough, or the workers who are executing the project, they are not efficient. There is inefficiency. You have to find out where and why. Then you will try to find out the measures that can solve that issue. But if you are taking 2 years of time ahead of the allocated time, then you can just imagine what will be the impact on the cost. 2 years of working, extra working will always fetch you a huge sum. Only government can bear this, because government is getting support from different types of department, different types of workers who are paying tax. But the private companies can never survive in such type of challenging atmosphere. That's why the private companies are run by most renowned professionals who always justify their project, who keep proper monitoring, proper direction and proper control on their projects, and they ensure that there is timely completion of the project. Okay, there is timely monitoring of the project. If 1 year of task is not being done within the set tenure, they will try to find out what is the cause of the delay, and they will solve that issue at that point of juncture. If you are just going to examine the project after 1 year, then how will you adjust, how will you compensate the time that is being wasted? Last is motion study. This study tries to find out what are the productive and what are the unproductive motions of the human resource and the machines. Any movement that is being noticed during the manufacturing process should be productive. You can use artificial intelligence. Several MNCs are using this artificial intelligence sensors, video cameras that will record your activity, and by the end of the day it will give you proper data, how much time was devoted to the work and how much time was wasted. And in this manner you will try to find out the unproductive motions, and if these unproductive motions are eradicated out, then the efficiency of the company will increase. If the machine is involved in unproductive motions, then there is also a need of improvement. You will try to curtail the unproductive motions and the productive motions are promoted. Then only this work study will ensure timely delivery of the product and proper profit orientation of the company. Okay, so by this we are ending this, and in the next lecture we will meet and discuss the chapter further. Okay, thanks.